All right, so this popped up for me, so I'm just curious. Technology isn't fun anymore from Drew Gooden. Gooden. Hopefully I said that right. um, but yeah, let me see.
Hey guy, a couple weeks ago I was at an Airbnb trying to figure out what the $200 cleaning fee is supposed to cover if they're just gonna make me do a bunch of chores anyway, when we realized that episode 4 of Severance had just come out. And what great timing, this place had one of those beautiful 85-inch frame TVs that make it look like an art piece on the wall. They had surround sound, they had a telescope pointed at the TV. I couldn't imagine a more perfect place to watch what would turn out to be a slightly confusing episode of television. So we turn it on and instantly we're like, why does this look like shit? I know that this TV costs thousands of dollars, and yet the moment
Okay.
anything moves on screen, it turns into this jumbled, blurry mess. But of course, because this kind of thing has been happening for years, we knew it.
So I don't really watch TV most of the time when I get home from my job. I'll like go to the gym and then I'll go to like Walmart or something to like get groceries and then try to take care of any of the chores. But then after that, I just come home, take a shower, eat, and then just chill here for like until I gotta go to bed. Um, like there is a TV, but it's in like the living room, but I don't really watch it. um, so I'm not too familiar if you have to like mess with settings or some shit on a TV or something like that. If that's the case, that's kind of hilarious. If you do have to like mess with settings and whatnot, because like TVs have traditionally been like a plug and play type of deal, like what a console is. Like asking someone to do anything more than that for like a TV, uh, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of just stupid.
It was because of True Motion or Motion Plus or
Oh yeah,
whatever
the whole True Motion thing.
this TV calls that feature, where it smooths out every frame and makes everything you watch look like it was shot on an iPhone. The best thing about this feature is that it's always on by default, and nobody I've ever met likes it. It's also named something different by every manufacturer, which makes
Oh
searching the menus for it a little adventure every time. Now, I know
yeah,
I'm not even
bro. You know what this reminds me of? Remember how like back in like many years ago, like 50 years ago, when they had the three consoles out of like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, or whatever Nintendo was at the time, all the three consoles had different like menu layouts, and everyone was bitching complaining about like, oh, the menus, I'll never get it, or I will get it, but it's like complicated, and every console has like a different menu. I can't imagine that same level of bullshit, but with like 100, well, not 100, but like let's say like 30 different TV manufacturers all having the same things on their TV, but the menus are just laid out differently. Like, well, some menus go vertically, other ones go left, right. The names of things are just completely different. That's hilarious to me.
close to being the first person to complain about this feature. It seems like everybody hates it. But that's also why it's so confusing to me. If so many people hate this, why, after over a decade, are TV manufacturers still forcing this down everyone's throats? How do they
I mean, didn't when TVs were like coming out and like starting to get better, uh, what has been there's been like a couple features that have been like pervasive. Like picture in picture was a thing. I think a lot of TVs have it, but not a lot of people do it. Like if you're gonna watch a channel, specifically like a sports channel sometimes, or like maybe if you hit the guide button, there'll be like a picture and then like the guide will be there still. But like sports channels would do that with like multiple or like a commercial or something. Sometimes like a commercial will be up, but then sometimes the sports thing will just be up, and it's like they leave it up to the channel to do the picture in picture thing. Uh, the whole let me see what else. 3D was a thing, but like what you bought a TV and then you got the glasses, that was a thing, but it didn't really stick. Trying to think what else. There's been a couple other features. I just forgetting.
they benefit from making their product look worse. I remember ecstatically buying this Samsung in 2019 and almost returning it because the default settings made it look so bad I thought it was defective. I just kind of sat there in denial about it for almost a week before being like, this can't be right, there has to be a setting I can change. Tragically though, a lot of people don't know about this setting. They don't realize their TV is actively sabotaging their viewing experience, and if this doesn't describe you, it probably describes someone you know. And by that, I of course mean your parents. So sit down with them, explain what's going on, tell them why you get a headache whenever you watch TV with them, and reiterate that it's not their fault. Show them this video by a guy named Noodle.
Let's say it's on twos. The AI doesn't smooth anything between the first and second frames of a single drawing because there's nothing to smooth. They're the same picture.
Okay.
This means that what was originally a perfectly fine 12 FPS animation is now a janky mess.
Or if they'd prefer to hear it from someone they know, have Tom Cruise explain it.
Video interpolation, or motion smoothing, is a digital effect on most high-definition television.
I'm Tom Cruise.
Just make sure they
Oh my god. Bro, that guy, I mean, yeah, it was Tom Cruise, but it could have been the Tom Cruise filter or whatever with that one guy that does the deep fakes.
ever find out about the whole Scientology thing, you cannot ruin Top Gun for your dad. That movie's very important to him. Now, I will admit, I was a little surprised reading some of the comments.
Okay, it still looks better with motion interpolation.
It's on this video, seeing so many people disagree. I didn't know people liked it when the...
Some people like true motion, some people don't. For me, I don't know. I think I'd probably prefer, like, for movies, I'd probably go with 24 FPS, but like 60, it feels like it just feels weird. It feels different. It's like too smooth. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it, but like it's just like I don't know. It feels like immersion breaking, the whole smoothing interpolation bullshit.
$100 million movie they're watching looks like a soap opera. Now, I understand, of course, from a gaming perspective, people preferring higher frame rates, but
I mean, yes, but with gaming and especially competitive stuff, people prefer like the real frames, not the fake generated frames that mess with the responsiveness of your game. I mean, why do you think so many like Counter-Strike people have like monitors that are like crazy, like 500 plus hertz refresh rate? Those aren't the because like Monster Hunter Wilds just came out recently, and there's like a setting where you can like generate frames, and yeah, it does like give you more frames and it makes everything feel smoother, but as far as responsiveness goes, it makes it feel like slightly laggy.
I don't think that logic applies to movies. Games are interactive, so generally the smoother something is, the more responsive it feels. But you're not interacting with the movie, you're just watching. It doesn't need to be perfectly smooth. In fact, I think part of what makes a movie look like a movie is the sort of ethereal nature it has. It doesn't look exactly like the way the world around you does through your own eyes, and I don't think it should. I saw someone say they like it because it shows the flaws in movies you could...
What? Motion smoothing of Sony Bravia with no juddering visible in the processing. It looks great, and it often shows flaws. And in movies, you couldn't see at 24 FPS. I mean, yeah, 24 FPS covers up some like little tiny things. They would be evident to, I can't read this, the filmmaking during the process of creating a movie. I think Tom is upset that because he's a control freak. I love motion flow all day, every day. I guess he was commenting about the frame generation on Top Gun. Was there frame generation on Top Gun?
Couldn't see at 24 FPS, and it's like, no, the interpolation is creating those flaws. It's not reverting a film back to its original settings. It's not a director's cut your TV's giving you private access to.
I mean, I think it's like different flaws. Like obviously the little dog warping around on like the dead leaves of that little scene before, you could obviously see some like warping and stuff like that. Whereas if it was just like regular 24 frames, then certain things like details that you would normally see, you don't normally see, but because they're not that important to the movie. That's not what the focus is at that moment.
It's just generating new frames based on what it thinks should go in between the existing ones. That's where the errors come from. You're not watching a more authentic version of a movie because Sony Motion Flow added
Oh
a
my
bunch
God,
of
yeah.
blurry auras around every fast-moving object. The most
Oh,
authentic
Jesus, that
version
looks
of
horrible.
a movie is watching it the way it was filmed. You shouldn't
Yeah.
have to change anything. And I think more than anything else, that's what really aggravates me about this feature, is the hubris of it. There are so many deliberate choices that go into making
Are people doing the interpolation on Spider-Man? Bro, this movie was deliberately shot like this in order to give it that little jittery, juddery feel of like a live action comic book. Wait, you can see examples of animating on twos in some of the original Disney films. The Spider-Verse animators alternated between twos and on ones depending on the nature of the scene. They could make Miles seem fast or skilled in some shots on ones and struggles in the others on twos. Sometimes he would be on twos while other characters were on ones. So this is in reference to, animating on twos and ones kind of means like if you have 24 frames a second to view, you draw a new picture or like you change the picture every 2 frames to like convey, like to animate like the motion. Animating on ones, like yes, it's like literally double the work, but the action seems like smoother. But then when you animate on twos, it just seems like I don't know, like most people like just view movies on twos. Another major technique was how they chose not to use motion blur, a CGI trick which most new films use to soften a movement and make it seem more real. Instead, they used an old school technique called a smear. Yeah, like you can see like right here, like this like red spike right here. That's like his foot, like conveying motion when he was running. It makes it seem more real. Instead, they used an old school technique called a smear. This was used a lot in early cartoons to create a sense of motion. Yeah, very good. Yeah, true.
A movie look a certain way. There's so many people involved in those decisions that know way more about cinematography than I do, so I trust their vision. Why can't TV manufacturers do the same? Why do they look at a beautifully shot television show like it has a problem that they need to fix? Anyway, this experience got me thinking about new technology in a more general sense and how my excitement towards it has waned over time. Sometimes it seems like we kind of already figured everything out. You can communicate with anyone in the world instantaneously. You have immediate access to every piece of music ever made. You can pay some guy to deliver a cold burrito straight to your door and it only costs $70. This is the peak of humanity, baby. There's nowhere else to go from here except backwards. So many things now seem to
No, you can have a robot do it. You can have a robot deliver you a cold burrito for $70.
just invent a new problem so they can sell you the solution. Or if we do create something novel and revolutionary, it's only going to stay that way long enough for us to kill all our competition, allowing
Yep. And then once, essentially, what's going on? Netflix loses nearly 2,000 movies. Licensing agreement expires. Yep. While Netflix is over here canceling movies, they're also over here increasing the prices for the stupid subscriptions. So you get less service and you have to pay more. So this is what's called shrinkflation. You thought only food could engage with shrinkflation? Joke's on you, idiot. Other services can engage in shrinkflation as well.
us to ruin our thing and make it infinitely more expensive. There was a time where streaming services seemed like the final frontier of at-home entertainment, a marriage of cost and convenience that made all previous options obsolete. My DVDs are just taking up space, and even if I wanted to watch something, I gotta get up, dust off my Xbox, navigate a bunch of menus, switch discs every 4 episodes. Netflix is so much better than this. Until, of course, they quadrupled their price and got rid of every show you ever wanted to watch. So
Yeah.
slowly but surely, a lot of people are moving away from the unreliable streaming services and going back to physical media. Things like Blu-rays, vinyls, Tooth Tunes. And I've actually begun that migration process myself. But because I'm incredibly stupid, here's how it's going for me so far. I started watching Friday Night Lights for the first time in December. It was something I had wanted to watch for years, but always put off, which is crazy because it's a show about football, which I like, with a bunch of music from Explosions in the Sky, a band I grew up listening to all the time. It kind of felt like they made this show specifically for me, and still I was like, I'll get around to it eventually. It wasn't until a couple of months ago that I finally gave it a chance and got really into it. 12 days before it was going to be removed from Netflix. For the last 2 weeks of December, I binged as much of the show as I could, as quickly as I could, until around 3 a.m. on New Year's Eve. 13 minutes left in the season 2 finale. I was given an abrupt error message telling me that my beloved show was now gone. At this point, I was pretty invested, and I didn't just want to wait until it was maybe on Peacock one day, and I certainly didn't want to spend $2 per episode.
What? Standard, and that's $2 for the standard definition per episode. So if you want the high def, which is probably what you're gonna get, it's gonna be $3 an episode. Like, holy shit, dude, they're literally nickel and diming everybody out here. Jesus, this is crazy. It's not enough for these guys to make the most amount of money while their licensing deal. It's not enough for them to just make away like bank robbers with the ridiculous amount of money they get in the initial deal. Even after the deal's done, oh yeah, we can still make money off this at 100%. Anything to avoid actually getting a job, anything to avoid actually contributing to society in any meaningful way. Yeah, I just don't want to have a real job. I'm just gonna keep selling all these episodes for like $2-3 an episode, or buy the whole season for $25. Yeah, anything by any means possible
to digitally own it. So I decided what better time than right now to begin my brand new Blu-ray collection, starting naturally with a show I had yet to watch even half of. So about $37 and 8 days later, my Blu-rays show up at my door and I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to see how season 2 ends. So I pop the disc in my computer, try to play it, and it does not work. Turns
Bro, what's crazy is that you have a computer with like a disc reader. That's the actual crazy part to me. Like, I'm looking at my computer and it's just a white box. There's no disc reader, there's no floppy reader, no nothing.
Turns out the external DVD drive I bought
external DVD drive. Oh, okay.
couple years ago isn't compatible with Blu-rays, so I'm gonna have to buy another one. No problem. What's another $110? Jeez.
What?
No problem. What's another 100 and
Pioneer external Blu-ray. Let me see this. I'm gonna do this off screen real quick. I don't want to dox myself with the damn fucking, what do you call it, with the address that's on fucking Amazon. Like, why Amazon? Pioneer external Blu-ray drive. Let me see this real quick. Holy shit, he's not lying. 130, 70. I don't know what. Oh, that's a 701 external Blu-ray. That's probably like Temu. Pioneer 120. Yep. Only 9 left in stock. Order soon. And I think I'm looking at the same damn one he is. 130, 170. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
$10? Jesus Christ. Well, I already bought the Blu-rays. I'm not gonna not watch them. So I bite the bullet.
Yep. It's an investment now. You got to invest in yourself. You buy that little external hard like little device doodad, and then you can watch like tens of thousands of physical forms of media. All right, you got to think of it not as a cost but an investment.
On the Blu-ray drive. It shows up 2 days later. Pop it into my computer. So excited to learn what will become of Brian Smash Williams. Huh, that's weird. Doesn't seem to work on VLC.
What?
Or the Any DVD app. I guess I could spend $20 on Blu-ray player, play Blu-ray, but that one says in its description that it doesn't play Blu-rays. At this
What? Simple, powerful Blu-ray player with Windows 11 style. Commercial Blu-ray discs not supported. What?
Blu-ray player, play Blu-ray, but that one says in its description that it doesn't play Blu-rays. At this point, I'm a little frustrated, but even more than that, I'm confused. So I go where I always turn to in times of crisis, a Google search with the word Reddit thrown onto the end. And believe it or not, even on Reddit, home of some of the most dedicated people on the planet, every single answer I see is, nah man, Power DVD 23 Essential is your only option. There is one way to watch Blu-rays on your computer, and it is with this app. You wanna know how much that app costs? $80. And it's like, I don't want to spend another $80, but I've already spent more than that just to make it to this point. I have to see this through to the end. Anyway, I bought the app, and it works most of the time. Although I should probably say it's been doing this thing now where it tells me my cloud subscription has expired and I need to visit the Cyberlink members zone for more information. So,
oh boy.
Money well spent. Long story short, I spent $227 to watch a show that I could have seen on Netflix at any point over the past 7 years. And to be honest, I'm not even sure if I like it that much. Also, I know what you're thinking. Drew, couldn't you have just put the Blu-rays into your PS5, you moron? Yes, I could have. But the whole point of watching it on my computer was so I could second screen RuneScape on my other monitor. What part?
Oh, okay. That is actually kind of funny. I mean, yeah, like this just goes to show you, whenever you like subscribe to these like little stream services, you got no idea of like when these movies are gonna come in or come out or whatever, and it just sucks, man. It's like you don't own anything anymore. You're just a tourist.
Part of dopamine addiction do you not understand?
Sorry, that was more of a story about my own incompetence than a rant about the state of technology. So here's a rant about the state of technology. I live in Orlando, Florida. My favorite basketball team is the Orlando Magic. They play basketball 20 minutes from my house, and I am not allowed to watch them on TV because I live too close. I can sign up for NBA League Pass and watch any other team play except for the one in my city because of blackout restrictions.
That's fucking retarded. What the hell is that? Every NBA game is available live with NBA League Pass, blah, blah, blah. Except the US and Canada due to blackouts. Blackout restrictions exist because local and national content providers have certain exclusive rights to televise live games and content. The audio of games that are blacked out will be available to listen live. Who the fuck is trying to listen to sports? This isn't fucking like 1950 where you're just like driving and you're just like listening to the baseball game. Blackout restrictions include your local NBA teams and all nationally televised games. Blackout games will be available for viewing after the game has concluded. Blackouts are specific to your current location. So if your location changes, your blackout restrictions for live, locally televised games will also change. Your location is determined by the IP address or location services if turned on. So most people have their IP turned on, so this is an easy fix. You just simply change your IP address to not 20 minutes near the actual game. That's all you do. Within the US and Canada, a zip code is used to determine what teams are covered by your... Yeah, just change your zip code or whatever. Just get a little IP spoofer. Call of Duty people do it all the time.
What do you think, I'm stalking them or something? Whoa, this guy's obsessed. He lives right down the street. I don't understand this restriction, and frankly, I never will. Is the point to incentivize me to buy a ticket to go see them in person? They play 41 home games a year.
Probably.
Am I supposed to go to all of them? And if that was the point of it, they wouldn't also black out road games unless you expect me to travel with the team. Guys, do you want me to follow them around or not? I'm getting mixed signals here. Anyway, here's what I've had to do the past 6 years as a paying customer in order order to watch my team play. First, I had to sign up for Sling TV because they were the only ones with the Fox Sports Florida channel. Then those two couldn't reach an agreement, so I had to switch to Fubo TV because they were the only ones with the Fox Sports Florida channel. Then those two couldn't reach an agreement, so I had to switch to YouTube TV. Can you guess where this is going? Yeah, they couldn't reach an agreement, and now I can't watch it anywhere.
So what is the NBA just? Is the NBA asking too much money for these guys to like host their like live games? That seems to be the issue. I mean, all it winds down to ever in life is money. And that's what I would guess. Oh, they can't reach an agreement. Oh yeah, YouTube, Hulu, Sling, what'd you say? What else did you say? Jubu or whatever. Foop. They probably are willing to pay some money, but probably not the amount that the NBA is asking. That's absolutely hilarious. Yep.
Time in the middle of a season. So out of desperation, I sign up for NBA League Pass, which again prohibits me from watching my team because I live too close. The workaround here is using a VPN to change my location to somewhere else. So now I'm paying for two different services just so I can watch the least popular team in the NBA.
Or you could just simply not support the NBA because of their stupid rules. You could do that. I mean, with the amount of hassle it seems like that you're going through, if that was me and my favorite thing to watch, I'd be like, well, fuck this. I'm just going to go find some other piece of entertainment to be entertained by. Honestly. Because, like, all this rigmarole that you're doing, dude, is not healthy.
Silver should be ecstatic that there are freaks like me out here. He should have a photo of me in his office that says #1 customer. So what do they do to thank me for my loyal patronage? Block the use of VPNs 6 months later. Do you guys want my money or not? I'm trying so hard to give it to you. Okay, now we're in 2022, and finally, there's a streaming app specifically made for people to watch their local team play. It's a miracle. It's called Bally Sports, and it is the worst app I've ever used in my life. It freezes during commercials.
Well, yeah, probably because it's the version 1 of that app. Probably version 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 is probably going to be like super streamlined, but like since you're like so dedicated to watching your team, that you are probably going to just put up with all the little bugs and hiccups that go along with the version 1 of the app.
Commercials. The feed cuts out constantly, especially in the fourth quarter. Not that I wanted to watch that part anyway. It refuses to remember my login information in between games. Did I mention they play 82 of these every year? I'm getting real tired of typing in my password every night. While all of this is happening, behind the scenes, Bally's parent company is not doing so well. They lose over $1.2 billion in 3 months. What, were they setting it on fire? Fast forward a few more months to 2023, and Bally is filing for bankruptcy. Well, it was nice while it lasted. Nope, they're still going. Somehow. Turns out I don't know what bankruptcy actually means. What I do know is that this probably...
I mean, nobody really knows what bankruptcy actually means, dude. I mean, I watch on like Wheel of Fortune back in the day. It was like the black pie slice for the wheel of bankrupt, and that meant you lost all the money. But unlike that game show, real life is not like that.
Probably doesn't bode well for the growing list of technical problems they apparently don't have the money to address. So that brings us to today, where after 3 tumultuous years, I'm excited to report that the app is now a little bit more reliable. But also it's been rebranded to the FanDuel Sports Network, which means every second of every
ad you will be marketed, watching ads that are just marketing gambling. Yeah, gambling. You can't have sports without gambling.
Broadcast is pretty much just one big ad for gambling. I should make a video about that. I know that this is one very specific gripe about a very specific problem, but I feel like there's so many things like this now. So many companies that seem to get their rocks off from making us have to jump through hoops in order to do anything. They're constantly...
The more hoops you jump through means the more dedicated you are to staying loyal to that like brand or whatever. And when they have amassed like a gigantic group of concurrent customers, that's when they can go to all these other companies, and with their like statistics that they have accrued, they can go to all these other companies and ask for way more money, like Hulu, like YouTube, like Jubu, or whatever you said.
Constantly merging with some other company so they can both be sold to a third company. Content bounces around from streaming service to streaming service like a hot potato. We tried to streamline everything and only made it more complicated. I can't keep up.
I mean, essentially, like video game companies have been going through this too. You know, a lot of old school video game companies that you used to like are just trying to take on way more projects and hire just a bunch of people, and then they accrue this like gigantic, I don't know how it happens, but they get this huge evaluation, and then they try to sell the company and just dip out, only to leave the next person with like a massive problem of how are we actually going to make our money back. That's what the sports is doing. It's doing the same thing video games are.
Just a lowly consumer. Everything's so confusing now. I need a break.
How about stop watching sports, or just get a different form of entertainment?
An ad break. Let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
Hi, I'm the youngest I'll ever be, and I'm here to tell you about today's sponsor, SoFi. I know you've all heard me talk about SoFi before, the all-in-one finance app helping you bank, borrow, and invest, but you've never heard me say these words, SoFi Plus. SoFi Plus is a brand new financial membership that unlocks $1,000 plus in value. I'm talking double.
Is that like Tinder Premium, or like Hulu Max, or Netflix Premium, or YouTube Premium?
Reward
Disney
points,
Plus,
3% cash back on hotels, loan discounts, unlimited one-on-one meetings with financial planners. All of that and so much more for just $10 a month, or for no cost when you sign up with direct deposit. To celebrate this groundbreaking moment, SoFi is giving away a total of $600,000 to help 6 winners achieve their ambitions. Money towards a home, a retirement, a dream vacation, or one of the 3 other things on the screen behind me.
Buy a home, $400K. Pay off your student loan, $70K. Fast track to your retirement, $35K. Once in a lifetime tickets, $25. Who the fuck is charging $25K for music concert tickets? Are you fucking crazy? Pay for the big day. Yeah, $35K. Yep, good luck. Not with the divorce rates for America right now. Everyone is fine and content with being alone, brother. Bucket list vacation. I would rather do the bucket list vacation than like, I mean, honestly, why would I need a vacation? I'm already so happy right here in my room just bullshitting. All right, I don't need a vacation from this. I am in a perpetual state of vacation already. Why would I want to leave?
Sign up for SoFi Plus to be entered for a chance to win, and you can even earn additional entries for every friend that you refer. So head to SoFi.com/Drew, scan the QR code on the screen, or click the link in the description to learn more about SoFi Plus and enter for a chance to win. Thank you so much to SoFi for sponsoring today's video, and thank you to you, the viewer, for listening to me. I know you could have skipped through this section if you wanted to,
but I watch it for you, man.
And I'll always appreciate that.
I watch it for you.
Now back to the video. I know that part of the feeling I'm about to describe is just because of my diminished sense of wonder as I've aged, but I feel like there used to be a time when technology was a lot more exciting to me.
Yes,
I mean,
it was.
What could be more fun than a gadget? Well, besides a gizmo, of course. But it seemed like most things that came out had a genuine purpose, that there was more of a collective desire to push humanity forward, to provide solutions to actual problems. And I know that this.
And now we have a smartphone, which is so far the epitome of pretty much everything. I mean, you know, you have like some people trying to peddle like the humanoid robots of like Boston Dynamics or whatever Elon's trying to do with his little robot doodad thing of like 30K robot servant. It's like, okay. Yeah, I mean, we're essentially the next smartphone, a type of boom is going to happen either with like implanting some like chip into your head, or coming out with like the humanoid robots that don't actually fall down and shit.
this is all still happening, but it seems like so many innovations now are just new ways to manipulate people or spy on people or replace people altogether. I'm not excited about what might be created in the future
I mean, I'm still waiting for my goddamn flying cars, okay? I mean, can't even trust these motherfuckers on the ground on the road right now because they're just all horrible bad at driving on the ground, and then you want to add a whole nother axis. They're not even going to be good at driving and flying in a damn car, okay?
As much as I'm fearful of it, I'm fearful of what AI is threatening to do to every job on Earth.
Take it over and make it so that all the jobs that people don't really want to do, they're going to take their jobs, and there's going to be a bunch of people out of work. And then I don't know what's going to happen, honestly. That's a good question. Probably going to have to figure out some way to just have some sort of, make it so that everybody has some sort of basic income. Kind of like a universal type of way.
Fearful of all these humanoid robots that keep popping up. What if one of them tries to kill me? Or worse, what if we fall in love? How am I supposed to explain?
I mean, people are already doing that. Come on, we already have like the humanoid sex robots. Yeah.
Explain that to people. For every OLED Steam Deck and surprisingly powerful tiny Mac computer, there seem to be 10 wearable AI companions, or a TV that's free because it never stops showing you ads, or what if you could wear your phone?
Yep, you're gonna have some like eyeball like lenses you just stick in your eyes, and then the ads will just get played to you whenever you like. You're gonna have like this augmented reality type of viewing experience as you walk into Walmart to try to buy your groceries. But who actually goes into Walmart where everybody actually in real life just buys their groceries online, and then you have like just the humanoid robots collecting all the groceries throughout the aisles, and then it just gets delivered to the front, and you can either come to the store yourself and pick it up. That's kind of dangerous, or you could have just the groceries delivered to your house.
On your
you can
head,
already
so it
do
could
that.
Never stop showing you ads. I remember when touchscreen smartphones came out, and I practically started drooling at the idea. This device, which I hate more than anything in the world, is incredible. It's true.
Yep, but you still use it every day. That's the level of hatred.
Truly amazing what this thing is capable of, but now the question is, where do you go from here? The jumps in phone technology have become pretty unnoticeable, despite how hard they're trying to get us to notice them. When we went from landlines to cell phones, that was crazy. When they added a full keyboard so you didn't have to spend 30 seconds typing one word, that was crazy. And then they added email, and a really good camera, and a touchscreen, and a GPS, and the internet, and a compass. And, now you can pay for parking on here, and you can...
Now you can view the moon, because that's so useful for everybody to view the moon very closely.
Download apps that stop you from spending too much time on other
your
apps.
phone. Yeah.
Oh man, that line's really starting to slow down. Huh?
Yeah, it's starting to flatten out. Is this what they were talking about flattening the curve? Is this happening?
And this phone costs 4 times as much as this one did? No, that makes sense. If you Google has technology peaked, their AI overlord,
No, technology has not peaked and is continuing to evolve at a rapid pace. In fact, technological change has been accelerating in recent generations. Has technology peaked? Let me see. Has technology peaked? What do I get? No, despite some perceptions, technology hasn't peaked. It's evolving rapidly with advancements in software, AI, and open source technologies. Here are some more detailed look at all the technologies that are not plateauing. Software and AI, open source, shifting paradigms. What the fuck does that mean? Exponential growth, new technologies. These are like talking points for like any business person trying to peddle their thing. Examples of ongoing technological progress. AI, quantum computing. Why the perception of a peak? Okay, I'm done with this.
review will tell you, no, of course not. I'm getting stronger every day.
Yeah.
And consider this your second strike, Drew. That's
This isn't even my final form.
awfully ominous. And what was my first? No, of course technology hasn't peaked, but like, it does feel like it's starting to level off a bit. The improvements between video game consoles used to be
360.
astronomical. Now I end up on a side-by-side
Oh, using Monster Hunter Wilds. Hell yeah, brother.
comparison video, squinting as hard as I can trying to spot any difference. In 1995, video games looked like this.
Yeah.
10 years later, they look like this. 10 years after that, they look like this. And in the 10 years since, they look like...
They have actually regressed from here to there. Surprisingly, they have actually gotten worse. Because you're comparing sports games. And sports games are absolutely the most bottom barrel example you could have used for this. But maybe you did that on purpose.
Wait, which one is a new one? And I know I'm viewing
Yeah.
this from a consumer
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. You can't tell. Because sports game makers are just that lazy.
standpoint. I'm completely oblivious to the strides being made in medicine and science and interplanetary defense mechanisms.
Yeah,
but
that
it
stuff
just
can
seems like
grow.
whenever a new thing comes out, we have to pay a lot for
The
very
moonwalkers.
little. Technology has gone so far in the wrong direction that people are now trying to find ways to go back. Physical media is making a comeback. Dumb phones
Has
are
it?
making a comeback. As
Physical media is making a comeback? I don't know, man.
people become more disillusioned to the future that was promised to us, the best way to break out of it is to recapture a sense of simplicity. And not all of this is just nostalgia. I think some of it speaks to the fundamental difference in how
Why young people love old things. Genuine curiosity. I mean, this is like really old.
things are made now. You used to be able to own things. Now almost everything is borrowed. You're not buying a product, you're
Yep.
subscribing to a service. I don't own a bunch of music because I
Yep, and it's only gonna get worse. You subscribe for your movies, you subscribe for your music, you subscribe for potentially your car. But not really. But they have tried. What else? You subscribe for like random other grocery service. You subscribe for car washing service. You subscribe for gym service. You subscribe for Tinder purposes and what dating, online dating. You subscribe for. You subscribe for like. You can subscribe for anything, dude. Like to get like new razors. You can subscribe to get clothes. Subscribe to get food for like those like cooking food people that deliver you food, whatever. And then you cook it yourself. You subscribe for I don't fucking know, anything really, almost anything. You could subscribe for sex if you want, probably somewhere.
I'm paying Spotify every month. I'm just temporarily given access to music until I stop paying and then have nothing to show for it. And even if you do buy a physical product, there's no guarantee it's gonna stay in the condition it was in when you bought it. A lot of things now can be remotely updated or even deactivated. The Spotify car thing completely bricked when they stopped wanting to deal with it. A few months ago, Roku forced an update onto all of their TVs, making it so you can't turn the motion smoothing feature off.
Wow.
This company just announced
That's
they're going to
bullshit.
start charging a monthly fee so anyone who already bought their thermostat can continue to use it. We're buying things that can be made worse or taken away from us whenever the manufacturer feels like it. So what are we even buying anymore?
Video games, once again, have already gone through this. And most chiefly, good old World of Warcraft has already gone through this. Once again, World of Warcraft will teach you everything you need to know about life.
These things aren't designed to last because the entire economic system in this country is based on perceived shareholder value. If I sell you a product that you only have to buy once and then get to keep it forever, how will I get more money from you in the future? How will line keep go up if transaction over? So things...
Yeah, I want a green line, up arrow, up stonk, dollar sign, money sign up, up thumb, up pointing finger. Yeah, green.
Break or become obsolete. A lot of tech devices are more affordable than they used to be, but they're also more disposable. The interface on your 4-year-old smart TV suddenly takes 10 times longer to navigate. Your iPhone 12 suddenly crashes 5 times a day. No, we're not doing that on purpose. But it does kind of seem like a sign that it's time to buy a new one, right? And this isn't a conspiracy or an exaggeration. Technology is making us dumber. Rarely while using your phone are you in the driver's seat, except when you're texting while driving, which is a lot of fun. But it's most...
I mean, yeah, if you're going to reference Idiocracy as a movie, then yeah, it's it kind of seems like it's kind of trending toward that, potentially, in some ways, but like, in other ways, it kind of seems like with the how available a lot of information is, like you could just learn anything about anything for the most part.
A passive activity. More often than not, you don't open an app in order to do a specific thing. You open an app and just see whatever it chooses to show you. Sometimes
you open an app and then you doom scroll.
You like it, sometimes you don't. Either way, the past hour of your life was entirely decided by an algorithm. You're not thinking for yourself, you're not making a decision for yourself, you just turn off your frontal cortex and submit to whatever Mark Zuckerberg has curated for you. And the more we're conditioned to accept this relationship, the easier it is to sell us an AI agent that does all of our thinking for us and that we learn to trust implicitly.
There is one M in the word weather. What? How many M's are in the word weather? There is one M. What? Are you sure? Apologies for the oversight. You're right. There are no M's in the word weather. Thank you for pointing it out. Bro, is this ChatGPT?
I mean, how am I supposed to be excited about technology when this is the direction we're headed in?
It seems like everything is slowly trying to turn into everything else. A new app will come along with one specific niche use and then inevitably get turned into yet another form of social media. Like the Shop app. I've been using this for a couple years because I like the idea of having one account that works across multiple websites. But now, of course, it's just like another thing designed for you to scroll through. I open it up to see how far away my pants are, and it's like, oh hey, you want to buy something else while you're here? You want some Alpha Lion Superhuman Hulk juice? What?
Yeah, the upsell. That's what it's called, the upsell. You're trying to, as you're in the store, upsell you on some other bullshit. Like, it's crazy. I mean, if you go to Walmart, people don't really upsell you anything, but it's funny. The only place I know that upsells is probably either car dealerships, or probably like big things. Like, oh, do you want the warranty? Do you want the this service, the that service? Probably add-ons to your house or something. Oh, do you want us to build you a this with it? Do you want us to build you a that with it? And then good old GameStop. Oh, do you want the 30-day warranty for your game or your controller or something like that? It's like car dealerships, home buying stuff like appliances even, and GameStop. Those are the main places that try to upsell you. Outside of that, if you're on like the internet trying to buy something, you're gonna get pelted by ads if you don't have like some sort of ad blocker or anything like that.
What about Goof Juice? Chug Juice? Oh, I know what you want. A little cake shaped like Texas. They also give you rewards, but it amounts to virtually nothing and is really just an excuse to send you more push notifications. Hey, don't forget to use that 14-cent credit before it runs out. It only works on this website that sells hoodies for dogs. You open up the Ring app so you can see who's knocking at your door, and they're like, hey, you want to see this funny video of a goat? Venmo defaults to the page showing you how many of your friends had pizza this week.
Oh,
Why
God.
do I need to know that? I bought that light in the corner a few months ago, and the only way to control it is through an app. And you're probably probably thinking, certainly there's no social media aspect to an app that turns lights on and off, and that might just be the dumbest thing you've ever said. Of course it has its own news feed and hashtags. Of course there's a pop-up telling me to take the Govee app user experience survey so I can earn 50 Govee points and a chance to win Govee merch. App is a goddamn joke now. Worst change to an app that could ever happen. Can't even remember my dream view settings anymore. May as well check all my lights in bin if this is only way to control them. What a joke. Well, I wanted to respond to this comment saying that I'm just here for the Govee points, hashtag Govee rewards program, but that feature is only available to savvy users.
Oh, wow. So I got to go join Savvy now.
So I agreed to the Savvy terms and conditions, and they congratulated me on becoming a Savvy user. You're following all of this, right? Instagram has its own TikTok feature. Twitter has its own TikTok feature. And you probably guessed this because you'd never make the same mistake twice. The Govee app has its own TikTok feature. Everything
Nice.
is the same thing, and I'm tired of it. These apps are all so intent on monopolizing your time that they'll design it in a way that makes it hard for you to leave. You click a YouTube link on the Facebook Messenger app, and instead of just taking you there, it'll be like, oh, I guess you want to open that app instead, huh? All right, here's a button. It doesn't work though. No, I'm just kidding. It will work if you click it 15 times. And then it will take you to the App Store so you can open the homepage of YouTube and just search for that video yourself. Was that helpful? Good, it wasn't supposed to be. I just noticed the desktop Instagram website has incorporated that thing that's supposed to prevent you from
Desktop Instagram? What? This is asking you to confirm that you want to leave information and it may not be saved.
accidentally exiting out of like a checkout screen or a form you're halfway through filling out. But they're just using it anywhere on their website. Literally scrolling through the homepage, I try to leave, they grab my arm and say, "No, are you sure you're done with us? We were just about to show you a really cool ad. Are you sure you don't want to see what it looks like?" Sometimes I feel like you don't even like me anymore. It's no wonder so many people are trying to turn the clock back on technology and return to a simpler era. Not so far back that you gotta like eat bugs and sleep on a log, but just back to when these modern conveniences were still exciting and didn't feel so predatory and manipulative. Technological advancements don't feel fun anymore because of the motivations behind so many of them. It doesn't feel like we're trying to make life better when almost everything is designed to be as addictive as possible. These things
Yeah. Nothing can be good anymore when everything is trying to become addictive. Like I mean, and some, like everybody that made these little features for like technology and shit, like they all admit how bad it was. You know, like look over here to the right, like, oh shit, you can't even see it. So like, let me see if this will do it. The infinite scroll bar. You see how it just moves up? Like, whoa. Infinite. Whoa. Moves back up. Moves back up. Oh, more chat. Oh, moves back up. Somebody invented this thing. And literally every like piece of like internet thing uses the infinite scroll bar. Or the infinite, I don't know, like video shower or whatever. I think there have been like a couple of documentaries or maybe like one. I don't really know. But I do know that some of these guys have been out here on public saying how much they regret making these things. And yes, it is kind of sad that like these little tiny little inventions only contribute to essentially just sucking up your attention and, you know, not really wanting you to like do anything with your life. So then all you do is procrastinate, and then you're just sitting there with your dead end job, sitting there wondering what to do with your life. All you're stuck as like a constant consumer, never being able to create anything. And you're just like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm like 30, I'm 40, and all I want to do is just get on the internet or my whatever little app and just watch videos all day. And yeah, I mean, I feel it.
aren't supposed to be fun additions to your life. They're supposed to be a new thing for your life to revolve around. And no amount of profit or growth will ever be enough. It seems like there's more thought put into how you can continue to charge people for something they already own than to just expand the experience of it in the first place. But hey, at least we're using all that extra revenue to pay the employees, right?
Nope.
Right? Sorry, I'm doing that.
Nope. What was that? Large publisher lays off more than 100 employees after striking a deal with OpenAI. Woohoo! EA to lay off 5% of the workforce. And don't forget, Epic Games cuts around 800 jobs. Netflix lays off hit publicly department. Laid off Marvel Rivals developer. Played a huge role for the game's key feature. Meta approves bonuses of up to 200% of company executive salaries a week after laying off over 4,000 employees. Wow. You just hire and fire people and then give yourself the bonus. Wow. Isn't United States so great? You could do all this cool stuff in the US. Man, I just want to make my own company and do this stuff too. I want to hire some employees and then fire them once we become successful. And then, I got the big evaluation, time to sell the company. And meanwhile, I didn't do a damn thing.
Right? Sorry, I'm doing that thing again where I try to provide catharsis by ranting in a critical yet lighthearted fashion, but just end up spreading more negativity in the process. So I'd like to end this video by highlighting some technological innovations that I'm thankful for.
Number one, fiber internet. In 2018, we lived in a house where it would take me 2 hours to upload a 15-minute YouTube video. And during that time, no other device in the house could connect to the internet because I was using all of it. Now I get like 2 gigs per second and it never goes out.
Damn.
That's a luxury I know I take for granted. Now I should probably say that AT&T almost electrocuted me when they were digging in our front yard, burst into a water pipe, flooded half the neighborhood, and knocked down a power line, leaving live wires dangerously close to the newly installed moat they surprised me with. But
nice.
They did offer me a $1 credit when I called to complain. I wish I was joking about that. They destroyed our lawn and then offered $1 single as an apology. And you know what? They're still not as bad as Spectrum. Number two,
yeah, that's my unfortunate thing. I'm still stuck with Spectrum. Fucking kill me.
An espresso machine. This is the world's greatest invention. It's all the convenience of a Keurig, except it doesn't taste like burnt garbage, and you can actually send the pods back when you're done to have them recycled. I mean, allegedly. They probably just throw them in the ocean like I do. I can't believe these pods are only moderately more expensive than K-Cups. They taste 100 times better, and you don't have to wait 45 minutes for it to cool off. Side note, how much money do you think Sabrina Carpenter turned down to not do a collaboration with them? They had to have asked, right? That's that mean espresso. It was right there. What are you guys waiting for? Some stupid YouTuber to promote your shit for free? Never gonna happen, bozo. Number three, electric razors. What?
Oh my god, that's the same one I have. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Why was I scraping the shit out of my face for so long? These things aren't just better, but...
Well, because like the trend was for razors to add another blade to get closer. Because, you know, everybody can't be really good with like the old single blade gigantic thing of like trying to do all that shit. That's a very high level skill. Okay. All these like inventions make life easier. I mean, but like you don't have the skill anymore to make like a good, I don't know, cup of coffee or something, or to shave your face and whatnot. But I mean, whether or not these are like make or breaks for you is a whole nother conversation, but this is just like a little nudge in that direction.
But they're cheaper in the long run because you don't have to change the blades all the time. And I can use it on my balls.
Oh, was that it? It was just the 3 things? Sorry, I thought I'd have more time to think of an outro here. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want. As always, YouTube gives me $100 for every new subscriber, which I like to withdraw as cash and use as kindling to help make it through this brutal Florida winter. So remember, every time you subscribe, you're keeping me and my family warm for a couple of minutes. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Oh, man. Oh, that was pretty good. I had no idea about this dude. Very cool. But I mean, all the points he was making were pretty spot on. You don't really own anything anymore, which just lends to the credence of, people are going back to, like, some people, I take it, are going back to like all the original forms of media, but like some people, they just go over there and pirate everything. Fuck it. If you're not gonna allow me to give you money or provide a service that you used to have, fuck it. I'm just gonna pirate it. I'm taking that shit. So how about them apples? But I mean, overall, cool video. I dig it, and I'm a fan now. So awesome. But other than that, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.